one painted under tray. Right, I've masked off the underside and all the holes that I've cut out, and given that 4 coats with this. It's a Tamiya PS-5 black, and that's gone on absolutely fine. And obviously this is the side you see. Now you can see in the light how shiny it is, which would be lovely if that was a body shell, but that's no good for wheel arches. I don't know if you've ever seen shiny wheel arches, but that's kind of not the look I'm going for. So I'm going to waft some magic dust on this and make it matte. Right, that was nice and quick. The under tray's now got a nice matte finish on it. It still looks a bit shiny in this light, but it's certainly nowhere near as shiny as it was. Just to give you an idea of the contrast, here's a scrap bit of Lexan, and the top part here is it's got this matte finish on it, and underneath is just a normal shiny finish. Now I've achieved that with another Tamiya spray paint. This is PS-55 called Flat Clear, and it's kind of like a matte varnish, if you like, that you spray on the outside of the Lexan. So this is sprayed on the inside of whatever your colour is, and then you put the PS-55 on the outside, and you can see the difference there is well, I think that's pretty good anyway. Nice way to get a matte finish. So there is the floor pan almost done. I do have to do some sticking on of my special little plastic bits that are going to stick down on the front and make up the gaps where it didn't quite fit the Rubicon body. I don't think I mentioned it. For spraying this, I did 4 coats of the PS-5 black, and that took a whole can. That was pretty much an exact can for that. Right, this is going back on the truck, and then I can fit it. I did make a bit of a mess up here. I forgot to drill holes where I'm going to fit this before I painted it. It's going to make that a bit more challenging, but basically there's 2 holes are going to be put in there where the battery tray fix-up points go, one over there, and then something up here I haven't decided yet. Glue is drying on the floor pan. Okay, couple of little bits of Lexan on the back just here, just to fill a gap that you can see through to the body shell. Stuck on at the moment with some tape, and there's glue underneath that's drying, and also on the front. You can see I've just stuck these kind of extra little pieces on here. Once that's dry, I'll be putting some plastic dip over the whole wheel arch, hopefully sealing it up and giving us some protection against scuffs, and maybe even it might look a bit like underseal. That's the floor pan nearly complete, and while the glue's drying, I've been making up the roll cage. Just follow your instructions in the manual for that, really. One thing I did notice is as you're holding it, if you keep doing the screws up kind of going round, you might end up with the cage actually warped slightly one way. Back your screws off and put it on a flat surface, and kind of look at it straight on and make sure that you've got equal gaps everywhere, and that each rod is, or each tube of the roll cage is touching the ground. So then it should go on your body fairly equally. Obviously a good thing to do is while your body is clear still, before you've painted it, you can put this on, hold it up, and then you can see where the screw holes need to be, and you can just dot that with your marker and drill some holes. So I'm going to go off and do that now. I've done a temporary fit of the roll cage on the body shell, and I'm just doing the other miscellaneous bits of hardware on the body shell, like wing mirrors that go on the sides here and the steering wheel. One thing I've found quite useful, you get these little plastic kind of 2-hole washers that go on the back of where the wing mirror mounts. These go inside the body shell. If you take that off the sprue and then fit that into the body shell like this, then you can line up roughly where you want your holes to go. Position it like that. I'm happy with the way that's going there, and then get your permanent marker and then just dot there like that. So I've now marked, I've got my holes marked where I can drill, nice and easy. And obviously do all this kind of stuff before you spray your body shell, otherwise marking those kind of things will be a real pain. Another little tip for drilling the holes, any holes you've got to drill in your body shell, get an old scrap piece of wood and put it behind the Lexan where you're going to drill through, and that helps you as you're drilling through not to kind of stab in the body shell as soon as you've cleared the plastic. So just back it up with a small piece of wood like so, clamp that on, line your drill bit up to your mark, There we go. One hole nicely done. I always like to start with a drill bit that's a millimetre smaller at least than the hole you'll need. So in this case these are going to be 3mm holes, so I'm using a 2mm drill bit at the moment. And yeah, piece of wood, really helpful for getting nice steady holes drilled. A few holes and screws later, I've got the rear light units on. What I found was a good way of doing that is I just eyeballed them. I'm not going to put the black stickers on. You could wait to put the black stickers on and then use that as a reference point, but I just eyeballed where they are and held them on, and the little black piece of plastic has a lump on it, or a little spigot that sticks through. So dot where that's touching the body shell, then drill that hole through. Then you can slide the light unit on completely, and then you can see where the hole is for the screw, and then dot that and drill that second. So that was those fitted. Wing mirrors are on okay. I've decided not to fit the steering wheel yet, because looking at the instructions there's going to be a sticker on there that gives you like the instruments, and the steering wheel will go in the middle of that, and I don't know where the middle of that's going to be yet, so I'll leave that. So it's back to the floor pan now. There you go, there's a look of it back on the truck, nice and black. You can see we've got some nice looking wheel arches now. I'm very pleased with how this is looking so far. Let's put a bit more light on there, hopefully you can just about see that. It's not stuck down yet, it's all just loose, ready for fitting. Ooh, it's almost like a ghost truck. It's kind of there, but it's not. Well, there we go, that's the body fitted on. The body posts are now adjusted to the right height. I was just trying to get it so that the body was high enough up so that when the suspension compressed fully, the tyres weren't scuffing on the body at all. I need to relieve the body just in the corner here very slightly so it doesn't stick out past the flares. But overall, yeah, it's really coming together. Just give you a quick pan around. You can see underneath there's the floor pan doing its thing. The big hole in the middle is because there's no radio box there yet. But there we go. Just have a quick look around the back. So on from now, I've got a lot of trimming on the body to do, just final kind of filing off and so on. You'll notice with the body post I've done something unusual here. I've cut, my father's kindly cut for me on his little lathe some slabs of aluminium and drilled holes in it, and then they're counterbored down so I can put split pins on to hold these metal plates on, and they're going to have Velcro on top, so there'll be no hassle undoing the 4 screws to get the hard top off, to then get split pins, to then take the body off to change the batteries. I'm hoping that it'll just be a case of take the split pin off the back to release the spare wheel, and then literally just pull the Velcro, body's off, change batteries. So there we go. I'm off to the scary bit next, which is masking this off and painting it. I need to go and do some experimentation with liquid mask, so next time I'll be telling you how I get on.